President Trump touting a strong economic recovery, particularly the manufacturing area. And I've been talking about the manufacturing renaissance for a long time, but it is certainly in full swing. More job openings continue to sprout all over the country. And the question now is, will these manufacturing jobs in particular, coupled with Trump's new initiative, be what the Republicans need to hold back the blue wave? Joining me now, John Burnett, New York GOP strategic advisor, Kevin Walling, Democratic strategist, and Ron Meyer, one of our political analysts. Ron, let me start with you here. The numbers are staggering. Article in the Journal yesterday saying in 1992, 15 of the 20 most manufacturing-intensive congressional districts were represented by Democrats. That number now is 20 of 20 for Republicans. They're in key states. Some of these states could be hit by the tariffs harder than others. And yet I think it's going to be strong enough to hold off the blue wave. What are your thoughts?
I mean, Charles, some of these districts are in places where the tariffs are actually causing a huge boom. They're places where steel manufacturing plants are opening up for the first time in years and reopening. And so that's one of the reasons why I think Trump's done so well here and why the Republican Party has done so well here. And Trump kind of exposed a weakness with the Democrats' strategy for the last 20 years. They've had an urban strategy. Richard Nixon was known for his southern strategy. What the Democrats have done is had an urban strategy, really just focus on building up the cities and winning the cities. And President Trump, when he won in 2016, showed that strategy can be blown up. And we're seeing that with his economic approach, it can be even further blown up because we're seeing him run up the score by having almost 300,000 new manufacturing jobs since his election because he's had a really different strategy on trade and with the economic agenda in general, obviously with tax reform.
Yeah, Kevin, well over 300,000 jobs. By the way,
sure. 400,000
manufacturing jobs open right now. That's a 400% increase from 2009. The numbers are staggering, and the unemployment rates in most of these states are lower than the national average. How do Democrats fight back against that? Do you parachute Ocasio-Cortez in, I guess is the question.
No, absolutely not. I think you're seeing Democrats, she could stay in New York. You're seeing Democrats compete up and down the ballot in areas where we haven't fielded really strong Democrats in the past. You know, I point to Connor Lamb's surprise win a year after Trump won his district in suburban and rural Pittsburgh area of Pennsylvania by 20 points. Trump won that district by 20 points. He concentrated his message on manufacturing, transportation, infrastructure, health care, and was able to win that district for the Democrats for a long time, held by the Republicans. We're seeing that take place across this country where Democrats are more competitive in those rural and manufacturing areas by focusing on health care and partnering with the president where we can on manufacturing.
You know, John, of course, the Pittsburgh area, known for manufacturing, but it really isn't like that anymore. In fact, Hillary won Pittsburgh and Philly, lost the rest of the state. But that being said, you know, I'm looking at these as new bedrocks. It's amazing. These were the blue-collar workers that voted even for Obama, some of them twice, some of these counties, right? So has President Trump done enough to solidify them, you think?
Absolutely. The thing is that blue-collar Democrats are tired of losing, but they love winning under Trump. Why? Because Trump has actually brought back jobs in terms of fiscal policy, deregulation, talking about tariffs, free trade, but also fair trade. And they like what they see in Donald Trump, not because of the talk, not because of anything else, other than he has kept his promise to them, the forgotten working men and women of America.
And Kevin, that's the question here. Sure. If there is going to be a wave big enough for the Democrats to take back the House, how do they counter that discussion? You know, I mean, Hillary Clinton was saying she hoped that coal miners lose jobs. How do they erase that narrative?
Yeah, I think, you know, healthcare is going to be the key issue for us in the summer heading into the fall. You know, 4 million Americans have lost their healthcare under President Trump over the last year and a half. That is a staggering statistic. And you're seeing more and more Democrats running on working with this president, working with folks across the party aisle to save and improve Obamacare, not destroy it in the wake of these 4 million Americans losing their health care. I think that's going to be a critical issue heading into November.
Ron,
Democrats
real
are
quick.
really going.
Yeah.
Well, I was just going to say, Democrats are really going to run on how Obamacare is failing and it's causing people to lose their health care. I mean, if that's the 2018 message,
Obamacare is failing because it's been sabotaged by Republicans in the Congress and by this president, cutting even the advertising dollars for signing up folks for affordable
I think it's just the latest
healthcare.
Outrage of the week. I mean, I think it's just
we'll
trying
see in November
to
who's
manufacture
outraged.
new outrage.
All right. Well, I think
Yeah.
We're going to see in November.
I don't know if they should call it the Affordable Health Care or Obamacare. That's the first issue you're going to have. What do you call it? Gentlemen, thank you all very much. Have a great weekend.